Hi everyone, and this is Chrissy, which you guys all know as Heart Divine. And in this video, I'm going to be doing something different than my usual reading. So, first of all, I would like to, spend a few minutes of your time just to make some form of introduction or, some form of reasons why I'm doing this. So if you are in a hurry and just wanted to go with your readings, you can just try to fast forward the video and go to the specific sign that for the reading, basically. Anyway, so in this video, I'm going to do a weekly prognosis or weekly love prediction forecast reading for all zodiac signs. But I'm not going to do it in a way that I usually do. I'm just going to be strictly using the playing cards. Playing card reading through fortune telling is what you also call as Cartomancy. Now, a lot of you guys have seen me adding this into my readings recently, but I actually have been using Cartomancy strictly for the past few years now, and I'm using them for a reason. I've actually have did an in-depth research, studies, and experimentation with Cartomancy, and it's not the same that you will see on the internet or on Google. None of all that, because what I did was I actually really went into old libraries and had to translate different ancient texts because they're not available in English, and I had to, Google translate everything because some were in French, some were in different language, so it was really hard for me back then. And even my friends need to go to my place just to check me out if I'm still alive, because I was really being a hermit studying and all that, because I was really much fascinated with the works of the playing cards. It's just that I feel that the reason why it's not really that popular, and even if it did not really give that much of an impression to a lot of people, because the information on the internet and on YouTube, as I have already checked, is not really that much great. It really doesn't give that much depth. And because the reason here is that I kind of feel that Cartomancy has a lot of systems, and it can be quite confusing. And if you're just starting out, like for me, the reason why I looked into Cartomancy is because I have this really interest with Petite Italia playing card system. I'm not really sure if you guys know that, because if you just type Italia, nothing will show up in Google. But Petite Italia is like a card system that was back in the days, even before Miss Lenormand is even a popular fortune teller. And it has been known that this is a card system that um, Lenormand has used before she actually developed her own system, which what we all know now as the Lenormand cards. But yeah, I still use my Lenormand, but I'm really quite the exotic type, and if there's something that I don't know, I like to figure out what's wrong with that system. I want to know the ins and outs of things in Petite Italia, because she has a very peculiar system as a whole. And I actually have a set of deck that I use for studying Petite Italia, which I think is not with me right now, but maybe next time I'll show you guys why I feel that it's kind of weird, but it's accurate and it's crazy. So what I did with that is um, look into ancient meanings of the Cartomancy, how they do readings, and all that. And I basically gathered everything, every cartomancer's, every fortune teller's uptake and how they do their playing card readings. So, upon all that, with all practice and such, this system that I have right now with me is something that I have accumulated from all my studies and research. And ever since 1 or 2 years ago, yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, I have, you know, end up making bold predictions for some people and some clients that I had. Not online because at that time I was missing, I was really, really busy with my real life and doing a lot of studies offline. So the clients that I had were people not online, they were offline. So yeah, it was very scary because sometimes the Norman reading, sorry, Cartomancy readings can get so real. And sometimes I want to be positive because I'm really not really the type to give bold, scary prediction type of person. And you guys, the people who have done readings with me, would know what kind of a reader that I am. So yeah. So for this weekly reading, I'm going to be applying my practices to and showing you guys how I do the readings itself. But I am going to be doing this in a very predictive method. So for example, I say I'm going to make a prediction for the sign of Aries. You will not see me looking into the past or anything like that. So there could be an issue about being resonating to the reading. Since this is a very predictive reading, it might even feel off for a lot of people out there, and I would not be surprised if some of you can be skeptical on it. And it's okay. What I just want to let you guys know is that I'm doing this reading in a very predictive method, and I would like you guys, hopefully, to check in what's in store for your own sign. Please do check your sun, moon, and ascendant sign just to be sure. Either one of these three signs can create some form of prediction in your life, or these three signs can correlate some form of message that you need to know to what might transpire for you. Another reason that I'm doing this is that because we just had a lunar eclipse in Capricorn, and if you don't know, and if I have not yet mentioned this, the second half of July 2019 is the one that's really going to play an important role in our lives, not the first half of July. It is the second half of July where things can, shake up and change your life, If your life has been stagnant, it could be suddenly moving up and about. And if nothing has been happening in your life, then you might experience some form of revelation or whatnot that could be happening and being triggered by the lunar eclipse. So it works that way. The first few cards usually will say what is the near future or your recent past. I really won't be able to say that, but it's going to be part of the prediction. So yeah, please do know that these are playing cards. I'm not really going to be pulling much more cards than that. So some of you guys might feel that you feel you needed more details or anything like that, but I'm doing a 5-card reading for this prediction method, and my goal here is really to see how this is going to be manifesting for you guys, whoever watches this video, in hopes that it will create some form of impact and message, or maybe it will occur for your life. And if it does, um, I would like to know about it. So feel free to comment below if that would be the case. If it has already happened recently, or maybe it will happen soon. You can always go back to this video and all that. So I called this a weekly love forecast with playing cards, but I'm really not sure if I'm going to be doing this on a very weekly basis yet, since it's my first video in working on this with you guys. So I'm not really sure how the response is going to be. So it really depends on you guys. So if you guys want more of this video, feel free to let me know. You can always message me on Facebook, on Twitter, or Instagram, or here on YouTube. I do read comments all the time, and I do respond on it as well, so please don't hesitate. So let me begin. And I'm first gonna go with Aries. So let me first shuffle the cards. Just bear with me and give me some time. Okay, so Aries, you have the Four of Hearts. Let me show you guys the cards. That it would be interesting. Also, I do apologize, it's raining right now to where I am, so it might be creating some form of noise in my video. So here, showing you all the cards. So basically, in a nutshell, this is the Four of Hearts, Two of Diamonds, Ace of Clubs, Two of Clubs, and Five of Diamonds. Now, this could be in relation to a relationship that is very important to you. The Four of Hearts is about marriage, sometimes a return of a lover as well. But I would say that this is there could be a very significant message that is going to come into your life. I'm not really sure if that message is somewhat good or bad. It can be pleasing, it also cannot be pleasing. So I'm 50-50 if you are going to be receiving a good news or a bad news. But regardless what news you are going to receive, there is an importance to communicate effectively and making the effort to really speak your mind and also listen to the other person, because if you just if you be act in a very selfish way, this may create some form of disturbance in the relationship, and it might, for some people, it might cause some breakups, and for some people, it might just cause some form of disappointment. But right now, I'm not really seeing that. It's a possibility to consider, though, and because we do have we have Two of Diamonds and Two of Clubs in reverse. So there could be some form of friction in terms of how you relate to the person, how relationship is happening in your life, that form of thing. So the fact that we have two twos, it's very important to compromise. If you don't compromise, that is really going to create some form of problems in your life. That is for sure. we do have a lot of clubs here and diamonds rather than hearts. So this will give you a message that some form of prudence needs to be exercised, that form of thing. But your last card is the Five of Diamonds. The Five of Diamonds is a very attractive card. It has a manifestation card. It was like going out in the city, having fun with your lover, and getting something that you really want. So I would say this is a very positive reading, though at some point there is something that needs to be corrected in terms of some form of communication with your partner. So there is something that needs to be worked out with that, since the Ace of Clubs usually represents a message. So this three could mean that there could be some form of miscommunication or something that has occurred in the past needs to be sorted out. But once you get over that phase, you'll get this Five of Diamonds, which is a very happy card. It's a card that is filled with much joy and material possessions as well. You might be receiving gifts. Who knows, right? Someone in the past could come back and offer you something or clear out something, those kinds of things. Yeah. So Five of Diamonds is also about clothing, being able to talk to someone, able to go out with someone, those kinds of things could surface. So if you are going out with a specific person in your life, remember, don't just think about yourself, think about the other person as well, and do not overreact. And make sure you are understanding things in a very, I would say, clear method. And you know the facts, those kinds of things before you react. That is going to be very important for you guys for this week. So for Taurus for this week, July. Okay. For Taurus, it could be quite a hectic week for you guys. We do have the Six of Clubs, the the Two of Spades, Six of Hearts, the Nine of Clubs in reverse, and the Nine of Spades in reverse. Now, there is a lot of hemming in card right here. And Two of Spades is being hemmed in. Two of Spades is... The Two of Spades is quite of a tricky card because it's a card of sometimes a fight, sometimes some form of disagreement with someone. So there could be some form of communications right here because the Six of Hearts represents a male and the Six of Clubs is about progression. So there could be, I would say that if you are in a misunderstanding or problematic situation with someone, it might be in a continuing phase. This could be feeling that you are stuck in a certain situation as well. Since you also have two nines, you do have Nine of Clubs and the nine of spades. And I feel that this is a lot to do more with frustration. So I don't know what you are going to be feeling frustrated about, but it is showing us that there is going to be an element of frustration. There could be problems with communications, and it doesn't really have to be how you communicate with people. It could be something to do with technologies. Maybe technology is acting crazy, and you are having problems with that with a specific person, or it could be that you're wanting to be in a relationship and nothing is really happening, and maybe you're feeling hopeless about it. But we do have a lot of combinations that are in two things. So I would say that there could be problems in a certain relationship, and it doesn't have to be a lover. It can be someone that you're dating or have tried to date, and maybe it's not really working out. I would say that there is really an element here that's not very much really working out. Or it could be an element wherein, love is love is meant to be something that makes you feel happy, it makes you feel good. It's not something that should make you feel as if you're exerting a lot more effort than you should. So I would say that this week, I feel that it's going to make you feel as if you're working hard too much in something. Maybe you are in a long distance relationship and you are suffering in some form of communication issues with a certain person in your life. Could be that, it's an LDR. And we have Mercury retrograde acting crazy when it comes to technology and all that. But this can also be a time that some form of offer is being sent your way, and you're not really sure if it's something that you will want or be pleased about. But with the nine of spades right here, it's in reverse. So I would say that whatever you are expecting or wanting to expect in a certain situation or relationship, you are going to be experiencing some form of delays since it is reversed. So I would say it is a delay rather than a big disappointment. So yeah, and you will be receiving this news as well because this could be actually with a friend, I would say, since the nine of clubs can be regarding someone that you know, regarding a friend, and maybe someone is wanting to date you and you don't like them. So there is that kind of energy right here. So yeah. So frustrations and delay is for Taurus, and it might give you some form of hard work, but don't worry so much. I mean, it will pass. Okay. Gemini's, things are going to be quite hard on you for this week, especially those who are already in a committed relationship. Okay, so just a heads up. And again, this doesn't mean that something bad will happen to you. Um, Again, this is just a prediction, so I really will not have any sort of idea how this is for a lot of you guys. So you don't really need to take it to heart. Since there's a lot of Geminis out there. So who knows, right? So the first card we have is the Five of Clubs. The Five of Clubs is something to do with our body. It is a representation of what a human is. Like our two hands and 2 feet and our body, or our head. So that is what it is all about. It's all about change, and it's all about making effort on something. And because it's with the Queen of Hearts, so it could be a woman who is making an effort in something in terms with a guy that is being represented by the King of Clubs that is reversed. So this guy probably is facing elsewhere despite your efforts. That is a possibility, because with the someone is upright, someone is reversed. That is like two people that are not seeing things eye to eye. And we do have the Seven of Spades, and that is a period of frustration. Seven of Spades is always a deal breaker in ancient times, because whenever a spade comes in a set of a reading, it has always been known that whatever the message is for that spread is going to come true, or is definitely going to happen, or something like that. So basically, it's like the card of something certain. So yeah. So if you think that the other person, like the guy, is acting cold on you, it's not just your thoughts. He is really being cold, and of course that will create a lot of problems. So which you will have to deal with. And the next card is another Nine of Spades. So there could be frustrations and disappointments in the love department, and this is all because maybe you feel that you're doing all the work, especially in a marriage situation wherein it is the woman who is acting like the father figure. It is the woman who is doing all the work, and I don't know what's going on with the guy, but the guy has his own issues and is not really contributing too much. So I would say that for Geminis, they might find themselves in a situation wherein it can be a very frustrating period for them. So yeah, there is a need for you guys to handle your self-control, I would say. And if the other person is having some form of struggles, maybe you need to be a lot more patient. But yeah, the reading for Geminis is not really that positive, because it's telling us, that um, something in your love life seems to be on the rocky side of things. So yeah. And if you feel that you're tuned in with that and you wanted to ask more, you can always reach out to me. But for now, that is what is in the reading. But don't worry, it's just a weekly horoscope reading anyway, so it doesn't mean that it's going to fall apart or anything. It just means that maybe you are going to be experiencing some form of difficult situations when it comes to your partnerships. Or if you're single, it means that maybe the guy you're eyeing on is not being not giving you so much attention, and that can be such a downer. Though I'm not really sure if you are going to see it as a negative thing, but it could be manifesting that way. It doesn't mean that you are going to be frustrated. It means that what you are wanting to attract is not going to be bearing some form of result this week. Okay, so next up is Cancer. Cancer, you have a Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs is like it could be representing you, someone gentle and affectionate and like a friend. But we do have for a state, so this could be an element of depression or feeling sick or an element of as if things are quite stagnant for you in terms of your love life. Because the next situation that we have is the Two of Clubs in reverse. This is telling us that um, there could be a lack of engagement or reciprocation when it comes to your partnership, that kind of thing. Or it is just mainly telling us that that is what you have been experiencing or will experience very soon. But we do have here the Three of Hearts and the Seven of Diamonds. So you are going to be experiencing some form of lack, and there could be some form of communication disturbances in terms of your relationships. So maybe the other person is not giving you the attention that you want, the attention that you need, and you might be at the point of discussing this with this person. And there's going to be a lot of talks, a lot of conversations to be done. And this is actually a good thing because I feel that for a lot of cancers, they were in a position wherein they were not saying anything, they are repressing everything. That is why there is no results that is manifesting or happening in their life. But they will come to a point wherein they are going to give time and energy to express their thoughts. And there's going to be engagement to be happening in terms of your communication and relationships. And that is being supported by the Three of Hearts. Now, the Three of Hearts is an adding up. It represents love affair. It also represents things that are building up. So there was a lack of putting in the effort or giving time to a certain situations. There was a lack of exchange of benefits, that sort of thing. But now things are adding up. There is going to be a lot of talks, a lot of communications to be done. So this is not really giving us an idea how the relationship is gonna go, but it's somehow giving me a vague scenario wherein something is not happening in a certain relationship, something's in a certain relationship or situation, but then there is going to be some form of build-up wherein there is going to be a lot of talkings, a lot of exchanges to be happening very soon. To however it is that you are concerned with, whether it's your husband, your marriage, or someone that you are wanting to connect but haven't been able to have the chance to do so. So yeah, that is a very positive sign actually, because the Seven of Diamonds has always been known as the card of talking and communication, conversation. And with the Three of Hearts, it's like there's so much talking going to be happening for you. So what's next? Oh dear. We have control to speak with your body to talk to you. Okay, so for Leos, you do have the Queen of Diamonds, and it is in reverse. This is a frustrating woman or a frustrating card wherein somehow someone is very vexed in a situation. we have the three of diamonds, and this is about something to do with a promise contract. So maybe you are feeling frustrated with some form of promises that are not fulfilled or not yet fulfilled by a certain man, because we do have here the five of clubs and the king of clubs with the 10 of clubs. So there's a lot of clubs here, so a lot of action oriented things is about to occur. But I feel that there is an element of feeling facts, like maybe this man is not very much, is not delivering what he said he will do. So, or it could also be that, maybe you are far away from the person that you want, and it's creating some form of frustration as well, especially if you are with someone who is far away, in a long distance relationship. This can make you feel uneasy as well. So, and I feel that the communication with this man is not very clear, but it could be that the man is actually also currently traveling, and that is why there has been some form of communication issues. Because it shows here that there is a lack of paying attention to you, and this is why you are feeling as if um, there's no spark of love right there. It's more of how will I make this relationship work out? How will I feel better in this relationship? I am with this guy, and this guy doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, but this guy, the guy that you're interested in, has a lot of responsibilities to do as well. So there is some form of issue here wherein there's going to be an element where you need to get to the core issues, what needs to be understood and clear out in the relationship. There's also a possibility or the idea wherein maybe you're thinking that, wait, is he cheating on me? That kind of element. And it's not really proven in this reading. It just feels that someone is busy, is very busy than usual, and it's giving you some form of weary kind of an energy. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys. Okay, so there's a you know what? I just realized I'm getting so much time and space here and five of clubs, so I'm not sure if that is being honored with the lives of people. Anyways, for Virgo, we do have the seven of clubs and it's in reverse. And it's about upright, it's all about effort and hard work. So the next card is the 10 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, 5 of clubs, and another 9 of spades. Okay, another tough one. So for a lot on Virgos, I feel that you are thinking more on the negative side of things. And maybe it has a lot to do with how you are viewing a certain person in your life. The Seven of Clubs and the Ten of Diamonds is all about um, doing something very impulsively. And since this is in a connection with the King of Clubs, I would say that maybe you are concluding something out of impulse. Maybe you are being affected with the energies. I mean, Virgos are very weak when it comes to retrogrades. I mean, that's just a no-brainer kind of thing. And it shows here that this guy is putting in the effort towards you. They're putting in the effort towards you, but it feels like um, the efforts that they are making or trying to implement is not going through you. So I really feel that for this reading, for a lot of Virgos, there is a sense wherein you need to find out what do you really want. What do you really want in a relationship? Like sometimes you wanted to have a guy, and once you have a guy, you have another reason why things did not work out. And you know, it's like we always want to find fault in a certain situation. Why the relationship did not work out, why this guy is not good for me, why this girl is not good for me. You tend to nitpick everything. So I really would say here that if you are about to make a major decision in your life, try to hold off. Try to hold off a bit and give some time to get to know someone first before you make conclusion and judgment. And if you are wanting for adventure, for things to suddenly happen in your life, do know that there is some form of delays and frustration to be experienced and happen here. Also, if you have been really busy with your life, I would say to take a time out, or else you might feel sick. Um, Especially those Virgos who are overworking themselves, they might get sickly, especially this week. So yeah, that's basically what I'm getting here. So sometimes being sharp is okay, being sharp is beneficial, but sometimes you tend to focus on details that really do not matter too much, and you really need to be wary of that. And sometimes you might be trying to nitpick something that's actually pretty much good for you. Not saying that that is the case to all Virgos out there. It's just that it's a general theme that I am picking up with this predictive reading. So, what's next? Libra. Hey Libra, let's see what you have. You have the Five of Cards, and this is a very emotional card. It's the card of feeling good. Sometimes something good happens in your love life with this. If you have not yet experienced this, then maybe you are going to do so very soon. Mm-hmm. Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Spades in reverse. This means that um, maybe you are looking forward for things to happen in your love life. You wanted things to occur in your love life, but with the spade right here, I feel that there is a lack. Maybe things have not yet happened for you, so you might be dwelling on that. Let's see what the next. Again, this is a delay. So this is telling me that yes, there is something that you want to happen in your life, and most of the time, it will. Something will definitely happen. But I feel that you are experiencing some form of delay at this time. Let's see. But you do have the Ten of Hearts. Ten of Hearts and the Seven of Hearts. So I feel for a lot of Libras, you have been in a situation wherein you have been left out by someone, or it could be some stroke of bad luck, or something just wasn't really happening for you, for in the recent past or in the past few months or so. But something is going to be happening this week that can bring you some form of hope, like I don't know, someone in the past could come about, because we do have the Seven of Cards here, and a lot of your emotions is coming out. And because we do have the Ten of Hearts, 9, 10, 7, this is something that will bring out the emotional side of you, and they are an element of feel good. And since we do have the Five of Hearts here, this could be a lover, or bringing back passion in your life, bringing back love in your life, that kind of element or energy. So usually the Queen of Spades, why do I keep saying diamonds? Usually the Queen of Spades is not really a good element to be a significator, but with so much hearts right here, it's being dominated. So it's like telling us that if there has been some form of lack in your love life sector, or if there has been some form of disappointments for many months, this is telling us that it's getting to its over phase. You're now entering a new path, and something is going to be triggering this week, wherein something in your emotions is going to be lifted in a very positive manner. So yeah. So since we do have reverses here, I would say that it's not going to be happening early. It's probably around late in the week or so, that kind of thing. But it's very positive, because it feels like what you don't have, probably you will experience to have that kind of situation. And a lot of hearts and diamonds means that there is communication, and there is some form of emotional connection going to be building up as well. Also, did I mention that the Seven of Hearts is all about opportunities and second chances? Also, a card of forgiveness. So that is something that you might need to think about, especially if you have been feeling very spiteful towards someone for the past few months. Next, we have Scorpio. Okay. For Scorpions, we have King of Diamonds. The King of Diamonds can be representing you or the person that you are in concern about. This one is a very adventurous card, someone who's sometimes a very changeable man as well. So with the Three of Diamonds, so this could be a person that is looking back into something, looking back to a promised. Maybe he promised something, or there was a promise here that they might um, want to do or pursue. There is a strong element of the past here, I feel. And then we have the Seven of Diamonds, communication. So maybe this is about a communication, contract, or a promise of something that they might be going to be delivering after much delay. We do have the Three of Cards, but it is in reverse. So I would say that a lot of Scorpios are dealing with things of the past, and they might be focusing on that for some reason. Because with the reversal of the Three of Hearts, it's still a good element, but it's not an adding up anymore. It's not about something in the future wherein you're wanting to expand and stuff like that. But it has an element wherein the Seven of Spades right here is reversed. So it could be a lot of Scorpios are healing, especially if someone was mad or frustrated or angry in a situation. There could be an element wherein they are feeling less and less of their anger. So, and they are reflecting a lot on the past, their own actions, those kinds of things. Um, we have two sevens and two threes. So there is an element here wherein they are thinking about partnerships, but they are thinking about they're really more dwelling on what did not work out in the past. So some Scorpios are going to do something to fix the situation, and some Scorpios are going to have the element of dwelling on more to what did not work out and trying to reflect on this situation, of course. And I find this a really good thing because they are not focusing more towards the anger. They are focusing on the possibilities of what used to feel good, what used to feel promising, what used to feel genuine and true. They are not really focusing on anger now, but they are healing from that. So they are looking into a more positive direction. So this is not really, a predictive reading wherein something is going to happen for all Scorpios out there, but it is telling us that in some way, in some form, it is this week that you receive some form of healing energy, maybe from above, maybe a gift to you from the universe or the lunar eclipse, but there is healing being done here. And some you might receive some form of communication that has been in stagnant before from someone. So it's either you communicate with them or they communicate with you, and you guys try to resolve it, little by little, one step at a time. And with the Seven of Spades acting on here, it could be that you are frustrated with how things has occurred, or this scenario is definitely guaranteed to occur. Something important is going to be playing a big role for you in your life, in your life. But with the presence of the King of Diamonds, I am keen to say that this is involving the Scorpio man, maybe the person that you are thinking on. It doesn't really have to be you yourself that is experiencing this. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm almost going at this for an hour. Never really done a reading that's this long. I should have prepared it ahead of time. Sorry about that. Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius has been having a hard time, I feel, and if that is not the case, then maybe this reading is not good for. This reading is probably not for you. Is what I mean to say. But from what I'm picking up here, if this reading is for you, then you should have been feeling this energy beforehand, even before this predictive reading occurred. So this is about some form of frustrations when it comes to commitment or a message of some kind with a lover. So we do have the Six of Spades, and it is partnered up by the Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Spades! Why do I keep saying diamonds? It is partnered up by the Queen of Spades. And that combination doesn't really feels good because that could be a breakup that has already occurred, recently occurred. That could be frustrations regarding something in a commitment. Because the Six of Spades is something that you wanted to push forward, you wanted to progress, but with the presence of the Queen of Spades, this could mean that you wanted to work things out, but what happened was it ended up with a difficult scenario wherein there could be a breakup that has occurred. Actually, I would say that this could be a breakup about to occur, but we're not seeing that yet. It just feels that it is something that you are thinking or something similar to that. Because we do have the Ace of Diamonds up next. And the Ace of Diamonds is all about commitment. It has been known as the ring card in old times. It's all about news. And the thing here with the Ace of Diamonds is that if it's being combined by difficult cards, it could be a news that is going to be not beneficial to you. So it could be that someone breaks you a news that does not seem very nice to hear. Since we do have the Seven of Spades again, so this is like someone is hemmed in. The Ace of Diamonds is hemmed in. So I would say that this could be a situation wherein a third party could be involved. We have the Three of Hearts in reverse. So this could be an element of tears. There is really some form of dissatisfaction in a relationship. So again, this is most likely something that you are already experiencing and will be experiencing more, or this is something that is about to happen for Sagittarius. So yeah, and most especially with this kind of combinations, the Three of Hearts in reverse and the Queen of Spades, this is really telling me that there could be someone else in the picture right here. And it could be something that you already know, but you really have no idea yet. Or it will be something that you will find out and figure out as the week goes on. So, probably going to create a lot of drama. But let's hope for the best, right? Okay, so let's focus now on Capricorn. Okay, so for Capricorns, we do have the Four of Hearts, reverse. The Three of Clubs also in reverse. Oh, sorry. It is in reverse. Sorry about that. The Ten of Diamonds. The Two of Hearts. And we have the King of Spades. Okay. So Capricorns, you are dealing with a situation in your present relationship. I would say it is already for existing relationship or relationship in a marriage. So there could be some, you guys probably are having some sort of problems in terms of communication or money could be possible. And it can be something that is just about to happen very soon. Um, and it has to do with a person's expenses. So I would say that this has a lot to do with, just some minor stuff, not really the most deal breaking moment, because I feel that, you are receiving a lot of lavish gifts from a certain person in your life, which is, for me, it's a good thing. But some people might not be feeling this way. So I would say that this could happen in two scenarios wherein there is a marriage and they are fighting over money. There is love, but the guy is, wasting money and it's creating some form of minor troubles here and there. Or this could be a scenario wherein things are not working out in a relationship and the man here is looking elsewhere. So maybe they're not paying attention to the relationship itself and it really is not going anywhere. It really is not giving us concrete defense yet, but it is at that point wherein it feels as if there is a disconnection between you and a certain person in your life. But you're still going to be in a relationship. It's just that there is not much, activities going on. There's not much engagement going on. It's just that you're doing your own thing and he's doing his own thing. And for now, that's just what I see. There's not much, romance in the air. It's just about, a normal thing. And I would say that, it could be that if you are wanting to get married, there could be some delays. It's not yet happening, but it can happen very soon. But right now, you might just have to deal as boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing. So, what else do I see for this? This could be that if you are not connected with this person yet, you're not yet talking with this person, I feel that they are reversed because there's something that will manifest and happen very soon. So if that is the case for you, then that is a good thing because it's telling us that something will happen very soon, and you will hear something from this person and this man, that sort of thing. Well, that was uneventful, but I guess it's better than having dramas, right? So what is next? Aquarius. And finally, I'm about to end this video. Aquarius. Okay, for Aquarius. So I really feel that this has a lot to do with a specific man, I think. So it doesn't really have to be you yourself that is experiencing this. It could be the man that you're dealing with. Maybe they have strong Aquarius, those kinds of things. Anyways, we have the Nine of Spades with the King of Clubs, and this is telling me that this is a man that is having some form of problems in life or undergoing some form of depression. It could be you, that it could be any person out there who is feeling depressed in a situation. And another spades here. Now, I want to tell you guys that when the King of Clubs is being hemmed in by the two spades, this feels like a person who's really depressed, or they feel they are imprisoned, that kind of energy. So it means that the King of Clubs is losing his life. So there could be some form of depression this week, or just feeling as if someone is very stuck in a situation. And I would say that because this is the scenario that is involved here, this is a man. It could be your partner or someone that you want to be with or anything, or it could be you. So there is some form of depression right here that is being experienced, and feeling very stuck, feeling very unhappy. But the next card we have is the Jack of Hearts. So I would say that it could be that there is going to be a major decision that is going to be transpiring for a lot of Aquarius. So it could be that this guy um, feels depressed, and he hasn't been doing anything at all. He has been silent all this time, and now he is going to come to a point of taking a major decision when it comes to his love life or relationship, and hopefully he does something that surprises you, because we do have the Five of Spades, and the Five of Spades is always a card of surprise. And of course, this can be negative as well, because the Five of Spades is something that cuts deeply sometimes. But I would say that with how this reading is going, I feel that whoever this person is, whether you're a man or a woman, you might be feeling quite down and depressed, but some form of change is about to happen in your life, and it has to do with romance. So there is like a switching of gears that is going to transpire for you this week. So maybe you have not really paid so much attention when it comes to your love life and relationships, and something happens this week and you are going to focus right there. You are going to initiate some form of contact, but it happens in such a way wherein you are going to be experiencing a lot of emotional turmoil first. So it's either you or the other person, but either way, there is going to be some form of element of surprise that is going to be present um, for you this week. And if I'm correct, it's going to be triggering at the end of the week. Okay, and last but not the least, Pisces. Okay, so for Pisces, um, I feel that this reading is very much connected with Aquarius. So I'm not sure if there is someone right there who is connected with a person who has Aquarius or Pisces. Um, there is a strong relation to their reading. We do have another Five of Spades and Jack of Hearts. So it makes me feel like this is like a continuation from the other reading. So it could be that maybe you or a specific person has both Aquarius and Pisces prominent in their chart. And it's quite surprising, and because right now we do have the moon in Aquarius and we do have Pisces in that chain, so and they are making some form of trigger in an astrology level. So I don't know if that's going to create some form of significance with this reading, but I just want to mention that. We have the Eight of Clubs, and this is about exchanging of conversations. And this is about something that is being reciprocated. So this person is going to do something that he hasn't been doing lately, and it's most likely something that he will have to work on. There is going to be effort going to be done on his part, and it has a lot to do with communications and taking actions. And they are not going to be forced on this, they are going to be doing this willingly. We do have the Two of Gloves. So this is about a person who really initiates a conversation with someone, who initiates talking. And we do have the Ten of Spades. The Ten of Spades is, I think, did I mention here? Ten of Spades is a lot to do with hard work. And it could be that he might be talking about something heavy, something disappointing to you, but he is going to be making an effort. Someone is going to be making an effort to communicate to you once again. Or I would say that someone is about to enter in your life, and maybe the person is from afar, overseas, since the Ten of Spades is also a card from overseas. It's also a card of nighttime, so this might be happening around midnight, and you might be surprised to hear from this person whom you have not heard from in such a long time. So, yeah, this is my prediction reading for the week